on this thankful Thursday. Great day today to focus on being thankful. I'm thankful we're having a little bit of warm weather. I'm thankful for the rain that's going to come and nourish our land. Thankful everybody had a good Valentine's Day. Thankful for all of you that log in to watch us live on Facebook, and for those that log in later on YouTube and follow us. And don't forget, you can actually hit follow and be notified when the recordings start. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're reading in Exodus chapters 39 and 40, and this is where, again, they're finishing up the tabernacle. They are really concentrating on Moses today. Just the details. God wants to make sure that we understand that he is very interested in every teeny tiny detail of our life. And he's a majestic God. He owns 1,000 cattle. Let's see, a hill on. Whoa! He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. He opens the treasures of heaven to us when we accept him. He's not lacking anything. So why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he go to the greatest extremes to make his tabernacle majestic, to make it glorious? It was housing his spirit. So they spared no expense, not even on this tent. The tabernacle was a tent that they took and took from one place to another as they moved along. And it was very ornate. It was very detailed. Had lots of purple in it, Brooke. I'm just saying, lots of purple in it. Good morning. Good. So, I just know that there's been so many fights when churches start building their building, and I've heard lots of people get extremely hateful over the amount of expense put into a church building, and we're to be wise stewards, but we have our example, and then again take that to the spiritual meaning behind it, in that tabernacle represents the temple of God, which we are the temple of God. In today's reading, it talks about the Spirit of God. Now, whenever the cloud lifted from the tabernacle, this is verse 36, Exodus 40, verse 36. Now, whenever the cloud lifted from the tabernacle, the people of Israel would set out on their journey following the cloud. But if the cloud did not rise, they remained where they were until it lifted. The cloud of the Lord hovered over the tabernacle during the day, and at night fire glowed inside the cloud to the whole family of Israel, so the whole family of Israel could see it, and they continued through their journeys. And the explanation of the cloud is in verse 34. Then the cloud covered the tabernacle, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. When we are filled with his Spirit, the glory of the Lord lives on the inside of us, and he values each one of us far beyond this temporary tent that he had them build. With all of the detail that he put into it, he values us so much more. And then Mark, we're starting the Gospel of Mark today. And this morning I was just thinking about how rich the book of Matthew is. And we start Mark, and, each one of them's a little bit different. It's written by a different person, so you get to see the different personalities. I mean, Mark's just to the point. John the Baptist was born. He ate locusts and honey and then he just moves right on. I mean, he doesn't elaborate on any of it. He's just to the point. But the four Gospels are the account of Jesus Christ, and what Jesus Christ did is what changed everything for us, everything. It changed everything. Nothing stayed the same after the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And as I was reading it, the first thought was, how cool is it that 4 of them wrote it down? How cool is it that we get the perspective of 4 different personalities, the brain and the way they perceived it, and then how they translated it to write it down for us, but how it's emphasizing this story, the story of the true gospel. As one of my favorite teachers will say, the too good to be true news of Jesus Christ. And the reason he says that is it's either a Latin or a Hebrew translation of the word gospel. The word gospel means the almost too good to be true news. And that's what it is. I mean, I love reading about it. And I love reading about how he called ordinary people. I mean, in today's reading, he called the first 6 of them, and they were, listen to me, just fishermen. We've talked about that. There is no just in today's world because we're all called to do what we're supposed to be doing. They were doing what they were supposed to be doing. For such a time as that, they were called to be fishermen. And then it was time to follow Jesus, and they left everything. They left everything. They left everything behind and went and followed the call. But they were just ordinary people. He didn't go into the synagogues and the temples and pick out the scholars that had studied the most, who read the most, who memorized the most laws. No, he went and got the fishermen, the men who got out on the sea and got dirty and stinky. Have you ever been around a big pile of fish?
Yeah. Yes, no.
That's who he called. And then, heaven forbid, he called a tax collector. Wow. And then he called a zealot, a crusader, a man that had blood on his hands. And so anyway, powerful readings. I'll end today with the Psalm, with the Proverbs. Proverbs for Brooke. Couldn't be for the rest of us at all. Just Brooke. I love Brooke. She takes me very well. Proverbs 9:11-12. Wisdom will multiply your days and add years to your life. Wisdom will multiply your days and add years to your life. If you become wise, you will be the one to benefit. If you scorn wisdom, you will be the one to suffer. Anyway, so thank you guys for joining today. Enjoy your February 15th, your Thankful Thursday. If you think about it today, drop me a line on Facebook or in YouTube and tell me what you're thankful for. So I'm thankful for each one of you guys. Thanks for joining.